Last night's episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live turned into one of the most shocking confrontations in recent memory as Karoline Leavitt, the youngest White House press secretary, clashed with Kimmel in a heated on-air battle that had everyone on the edge of their seats. Karoline, poised and confident in a sharp blue suit, walked onto the stage to mix cheers and boos from the audience. She was prepared to defend the administration's policies and face tough questions from Kimmel, known for his sharp wit. The interview began calmly with topics like gas prices and the economy. Karoline answered with measured responses reflecting her experience in front of the White House podium. But things took a turn when Kimmel leaned forward smirking and asked, "Do you actually believe the stuff you say at those press briefings, or is it all just acting?" The audience laughed, but Karoline didn't flinch. She calmly responded, "I speak for the president and the American people. I share facts even if the media chooses to ignore them." The tension in the room escalated as Kimmel shot back, "That's a bold word." In Washington, the mood shifted dramatically and Karoline's tone became sharper. "It's easy to make jokes about politics when you don't have to lead," she snapped. "Maybe that's why you're behind a desk and I'm at the White House podium." The room was divided. Some applauded while others booed. Kimmel, visibly annoyed, continued, "Your administration is struggling. The economy is shaky. The border's a mess. Your boss's approval ratings are in free fall." Karoline responded without missing a beat, "Criticism is part of the job, but what do you offer?" Jimmy jokes, memes, sarcastic monologues. The American people deserve better than cheap shots from a Hollywood stage. The air was thick with tension. Then Kimmel played a clip from one of Karoline's press briefings where she hesitated while answering a tough question about inflation. The crowd laughed, but Karoline remained unbothered. "That's your big moment?" she asked coolly, a 5-second clip taken out of context. "Maybe you should apply for a job at CNN." The studio erupted, half in laughter, half in shock. Kimmel wasn't backing down though. "What's the context for defending chaos?" He pressed. Karoline's eyes locked with his. "The context is this: your show survives by keeping people angry and divided. You don't want answers, you want outrage. I came here to talk policy, but you came here to win points and stir drama." Phones were out, cameras were rolling, and the interview had turned into a political showdown. A producer backstage whispered, "Should we cut to commercial?" But the director said, "No, let it roll. This is gold." Karoline turned to the audience, her voice ringing with conviction, "You don't have to agree with me, but don't let late-night comedians decide what's true. They're here to entertain you, not inform you." The crowd's reaction was mixed, some clapping, others shouting. Kimmel interrupted, raising his hand. "Let me stop you right there," he said sharp. "If anyone's deciding what's true, it's the press secretary." Dodging every real question, Karoline snapped back, "Maybe if reporters asked real questions, I wouldn't have to dodge anything." The room went still as the two locked eyes, the back and forth, now a full-on verbal war. Karoline's voice cut through the silence like a blade. "Let's actually talk about facts. Jimmy, you talk about misinformation, but how many times have you twisted something on this show for laughs?" "I'm a comedian," Kimmel replied, trying to keep his tone level. "People come here for jokes, not a lecture." Karoline stood firm. "I'm the press secretary. I don't get a laugh track when I share policy. I stand in front of a room full of journalists and answer hard questions day after day. You have the luxury of hiding behind a script." The audience murmured. Some looked shocked, others stared at Karoline in awe, seeing her in a new light. Kimmel, seemingly cornered, dropped the jokes. "Do you really believe you're helping people?" he asked. "From where I'm sitting, it looks like all you do is spin for a president who can barely put a sentence together." The studio fell silent. Karoline's jaw tightened, but she didn't raise her voice. "Say what you want about the president," she said, "but at least he's not sitting behind a desk throwing cheap insults to get applause. Leadership is hard. Mocking it from a distance is easy." The room shifted again. This wasn't just a late-night interview anymore, it was a standoff. Kimmel, frustrated, said, "I invited you here for a conversation, but clearly you came here for a fight." Karoline responded, "No, I came here to defend the truth, but if that makes you uncomfortable, maybe you should stick to celebrity gossip and leave politics to the professionals." The studio exploded. Some cheered, some booed. Social media went wild. Hashtags like Karoline v. Kimmel and Albert Doc's press secretary walkout were trending, and clips of the moment spread like wildfire across platforms. Some praised Karoline for standing her ground, while others mocked her for walking out. But everyone was talking about it backstage. Producers were scrambling. "Cut to commercial. We have to cut," someone yelled, but the director responded, "No, let it run. This is history." Karoline wasn't done. She stood up, pulled off her mic, and turned to the audience. "I came here in good faith," she said, "but it's clear Jimmy isn't interested in a real conversation. He wants sound bites and viral moments. I won't be a prop in someone else's game." Jimmy, visibly shaken, tried to regain control. "Well, that was different," he muttered, but the damage had been done. Karoline walked off the stage without looking back, leaving the room in shock. The confrontation had become a national headline in a matter of hours. The next day, Karoline returned to her podium unflustered. When asked if she regretted walking out, she smiled and said, "No regrets. I showed up with respect. I left with my dignity." That quote alone made headlines everywhere. She was composed, calm, and in full control. Later that night, Jimmy addressed the backlash. "I realize I crossed a line with Karoline," he said. "I was rude. I'm sorry." The apology spread just as quickly as the original confrontation. Some appreciated it, others felt it was too little too late. Karoline responded with a simple, "That's what grown-ups do, they own their mistakes." The White House staff praised Karoline for keeping her cool under fire. Even critics stopped underestimating her. One insider said she just turned a meltdown into a movement. And then a surprise letter arrived from Oprah Winfrey praising Karoline's strength and composure. Months later, Karoline's name dominated discussions across newsrooms, classrooms, and comment sections. What had started as a controversial clash had evolved into a movement forcing people to rethink how we listen, speak, and treat others with differing views. She had become a symbol for boldness in spaces where voices are often silenced. Karoline launched a digital platform focused on civic education, offering clear, respectful breakdowns of complex topics. It wasn't flashy, but it reached millions, and as she continued her work, her audience grew, transforming her from a press secretary into a voice that resonated with the people. Karoline Leavitt left the building that night, but her words stayed long after the lights went out. It was a reminder that civility still has power in the loudest, messiest, and most polarized media arenas. She proved that walking away wasn't weakness but strength.